Splendor 2019, the whole festival being headlined by the Manic Street Preachers. Nicky, why good to have you here.
Nice to see you again, sir.
You are one of the hardest gigging bands, I was going to say in the country, possibly in the world. How do you keep doing it?
I'm not quite sure at the moment. Our reserves are running a bit low, but it's, to be asked to do stuff like this, you come into a place you really like, come in, specials are playing, you're in Nottingham. It's just such, if you're asked, it just feels like we got to do it.
I saw you, I think it was last year at Why Not, and one of the things I think was really interesting was, you're playing the main stage there, but of all of the bands that I saw there last year, moving around the stage, the energy, I think, seriously, and I'm not just saying this because you're here, I think, Jules, I said this to you, didn't I, at Why Not? All of the bands, they bring the energy, the Manics.
Absolutely, and we actually watched you from the side of the stage. It was incredible.
How do you keep it? How do you keep that energy level? How that enthusiasm?
It's totally in our DNA, and I know what you mean because I do watch younger bands, and they look petrified on stage, and they're concentrating so much on playing well, and we just don't come that kind of background. The physical nature of being in a band, of the bands we loved watching, be it The Who or The Clash growing up, it's just always been with us, and the limbs, I've taken a battering and all the rest of it, and it's not quite as intense maybe as it was 20 years ago, but it just doesn't seem unless you're into it like that for us.
How on earth, with the back catalogue you've got, do you begin to decide what songs to include in a set like this?
It's impossible, actually, and I'm the one deemed with that impossible task. And then obviously you want to play all your, lots of big songs. You want to play some oddities as well and some lesser known stuff. It is really difficult, try to do the best we can.
When I listen to your music, my favourite track of yours flip-flops from one day to the other. It might be The Everlasting one day, Motorcycle another, something from the last album. It could be, who knows what's going to happen. Do you find the same with your own material?
Yeah, because I think, we've done 13 albums now, 13 original albums, which is, pretty unprecedented for any band of our era, really. And they've all had this certain niche, some of them fit together, but some of them are just completely opposite and strange and don't fit into the canon at all, which we really like, but that does make it quite hard to fit into certain aspects live. But when I grew up, all I wanted to do was look in stacks of records of Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen, and you'd have something like Nebraska next to the river, which didn't really have anything in common, but that's what I loved about growing up. That's what we tried to do.
I remember the first time I met you, it was back in the 1990s, and I'm trying to think, for the life of me, I can't remember which album it was. It'd be 1991. So would that be the Holy Bible? Yes, it could have been Generation
Terrace, yeah.
And it was a Saturday night. And,
so was that the Rock City, or was that Trent? We did Trent Poly. Does that still exist, or Trent University?
Yeah, it's a university now. To be honest, Nicky, I'm not sure which one of those it will be. But a fella called Bob Herman brought you into the radio station.
Yeah, Bob's still in touch with him now and again, yeah.
And I remember listening to the album as you were heading in, and I was a new radio presenter at the time, and the lyrical content, thinking, I'm not going to be in a job tomorrow, this is going to be it, because it was quite a full-on album. There's a lot of stuff in there, for my brain to assimilate, really.
There was we were just obsessed with sloganeering and situationism and the Clash and the Pistols. It's the classic debut album when you try to cram your entire youth, and everything you want to kind of say, which makes it a bit unwieldy and ungainly at times. But you've got to do, when you're young, that's the time when you've got all the energy and the kind of intellectual capacity before you degrade.
You still got that?
Before one degrades into the mess we are now.
Do you still wear your Forest colours, by the way?
What's that?
Your Nottingham Forest kit, your colours, you still wear it?
Yeah, James is the fan, but I've still got...
You like the colours, I remember you saying in an interview, you kind of like the colour scheme.
It's probably the greatest badge, I would say, in football history, the Forest badge. It's a complete design classic.
You say that on stage tonight, and you're going to go down in history here.
Well, I just grew up loving Brian Clough anyway, so I think that age, your memory is burned with because you didn't see much football. When you did see it, you can remember every single thing about it. John Robertson running down the left, or Kenny Burns kicking someone, or Larry Lloyd headbutting someone, Frank Clark. It's just all there.
That was incredible.
Oh yeah, with football stuff like that, Trevor Francis turning up. It never leaves,
Finally, thank you very much for talking to me. But another album. I know it's only been a year, but I have to ask, don't I, Nicky? People wouldn't forgive me if I didn't ask the question.
Yeah, we just can't We've tried them, it's just not right at the moment. It's good that we actually tried and stopped ourselves from ploughing through, so we're just regrouping at the moment, enjoying the summer, just breathing, playing some festivals and stuff, and then we'll get back to it in September. But there'll definitely be another album, yeah.
Nicky, well, bless you for your time, always massively appreciated, and have fun headlining Splendid tonight. Thank you very much indeed.
I go and do some yoga now.
I might join you, actually.